Hey Soul Family, welcome to Eringy. I'm Erin. We're going to be doing a few exercises today to help you open and stretch out the hips and hamstrings. So roll out your mat and let's get started. Alrighty, so get you to stand up on the mat. What we're going to be doing is we're going to bring our feet a little wider than our hips. So as a gauge, if you've got your mat here, you might like to sort of bring it out to the width of the mat itself. Okay, so just going to be standing like that. Feet can go about 45 degrees out, like the toes rather, about 45 degrees. And we're going to get into our hips and our psoas muscle. So the psoas muscle is the one that travels from the groin area up to the sort of lower edge of the ribs. It's a really big one. It's very much involved in the flexibility of our hips, our legs. So yeah, this is a really good stretch. So all we're doing is doing a stand to squat. I'm going to do this a few times. So let's just take it slow and then we'll kind of gradually increase momentum with it. Okay, so pointing those feet about 45 degrees and we're just going to just gently come down. So we're not going to roll our back down. We're sort of just going to bend those knees out, bringing those hips down and then coming down into our squat. Now, if you've just started to do this, you might find that your heels just instantly want to lift, and that is completely fine. Okay, so the idea here is just to sort of get into these muscles in the groin area, bring a little bit of heat here. That's going to help open them up, bring them, help them become more flexible is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so you might be able to sort of sit down into it. If it's a little too challenging, you can also widen your stance if that's helpful. And once you've found your squat, you're going to place your hands down in front of you, palms down, and then lifting that hip, or both hips. Straighten those legs and come into sort of a semi-stand. And then bend in those knees, draw those hips down back into your squat. Okay, so you can sort of see that we're adding a bit of dynamic movement here. Straighten those legs down into a squat. So as you're bringing your hips up, breathe in and exhale, come down. The breath really does help. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, drop those hips. Inhale, back up. Exhale, coming down. So I know it looks a little, what's the word, that we're doing this a lot and there's nothing else happening. But sometimes it's the simplest of exercises that really benefit the body. And you'll likely find that thighs start to kind of fire up a little bit as well. That is a good thing. Thighs definitely are involved in supporting your body. Get some heat into those hamstrings. Inhale, back up. And exhale, coming all the way down. So stay down here. Okay, we're going to sort of place our arms and our hands into prayer position. So your upper arms are sitting on the inside of the thighs. Bring those palms together. And from here, you're going to draw your palms down. So basically, you're opening up those hips. Try to bring some length into the spine here as well. Okay, so again, bringing the palms back up. Keep them touched. And then down. So we're opening up the hips here. Inhale up. Exhale, opening up the hips. This is really, really good for the psoas muscle. You can probably feel it. Really helping to open those up because, you know, we don't really often do this sort of practice, do we? Normally we're walking, running, sitting, and that really shortens the muscle fibers of this part of the body. So this exercise helps to bring length, flexibility, stretch it out. Also helps to release any tension. You know, we do hold on to a fair bit of tension in the hip area, emotionally speaking. So it's really nice to kind of give some love to this part of the body, isn't it? Let's do one more, opening up the hips. Wonderful. Okay, so just sort of rock forward just a touch, bring those palms down. We're going to lift up one more time. Awesome, straighten those knees. Heel toe your feet back so that they're hip distance apart. And ever so slowly draw those fingers the front of the body, coming nice and slowly back up, vertebrae by vertebrae, until you're standing. Okay, so our last exercise is going to be active pigeon. So to get into that particular pose, we're going to come into a low lunge. So meet me at the top of the mat here, send the right foot back, and then just make sure that your front left foot, toes are pointing forward, ankle is stacked, so it's stacked knees above the ankle, hands are down on either side. You've got your hips nice and squared toward the top of the mat. And so from here, what you're going to do is you're going to bring, pivot basically, your left foot onto its edge, basically opening up the hips in that way. So you're sort of going to be drawing your butt down as you open up that hip and then coming back up. So we're going to do this 10 times. Inhale, opening up the hips, coming onto the outer edge of the left foot. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, outer edge. Exhale to center. So just do this in your own time. Use your breath as your guide. As you do this, you might want to kind of go down a little bit further if that's more comfortable, or a little more advanced. You're doing really good. So the last one, we're just going to stay in this position just for a little longer. So hold it here. Keep holding. 3, 2, 1. Come back up. Awesome. Draw that back leg up to the top of the mat. Just give that leg a little bit of a rest. Let's meet back up to mountain pose, Tadasana, and then just sort of get some movement into these legs. Because you know we've got to do it on the other side. Okay, so let's do that. Come into your low lunge. Left foot goes back this time. You might need to heel toe your front foot forward just so that your knee is stacked above the ankle. Toes are facing forward. Palms come down. Okay, so once you feel like you've got a fairly stable position here, we can repeat the same thing that we did on the other side. So as you breathe in, open up your right hip, come onto the outer edge of the right foot. And you might find that one side's a little more open than the other. And then as you breathe in, draw the foot back. Inhale, opening up the hips. Keep that gaze down. So don't look forward because that's just going to compress the neck. Awesome. Okay, so again, do this in your own time. Use your breath as your guide. You got this. And just try not to force it, you know. I mean, some days are going to feel far more open than other days. So if today is just feeling a little, you know, a little bit more tense, don't judge it. We're all human. We all have a body, and some days can be a little bit just different. Just different. Okay, last one. Just stay in this position on the outer edge of the right foot. Hold that. Kind of press down. You've got this. Inhale, come back up. Inhale, bring that back leg back up to the top of the mat, coming slowly up. You've got this into Tadasana. Just give a bit of movement. So those are the exercises to help you open up the hips, stretch out the hamstrings. Definitely encourage you to do those fairly regularly. Kind of incorporate them into your normal yoga practice because they really do assist in getting into those places that can normally be quite challenging to get to, especially the psoas muscle. So I'm out of breath just doing that. Yeah, so if you enjoyed that, if you felt that was really great, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll catch you really soon. Sending you so much love. Mwah. Namaste.